copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people that wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not no African. You're not motherfucker. You're talking about we Africans.
Oh man, yeah. I like that. Oh, let me turn it off. Oh God, I like that. Can y'all still hear that? Let me know if it's too loud. Do I need to cut it off? Oh yeah, I like it too, Smoke. Is that too loud? Do I sound too loud? Can I leave it on? Or do I need to turn it off? Because I gotta read some slides to y'all. It's not too loud because I could turn it down a little bit more. Okay, good. Yeah, I like that kind of music. Damn. Oh God. Twitter ain't playing today. See, they was hitting the like button over in Twitter and watching me live there. So now I see y'all butts. Hey, 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 hey. All right, y'all. So I said I'm gonna stop streaming with that hip hop hard stuff because it'd be running some of these senators away. And politician and political campaign people. Hey y'all, I know y'all laughing. And Wyatt North. Hey, Wyatt, period, y'all. So y'all know what, to keep it real, I cannot, as much as I love this music, it's just gonna be for intermission because it's too loud in my ears. Why I don't even need my headphones on. For real, for real. I only need my headphones on when somebody comes on my panel. So what I want to get in today. Hey, D. Allen Warren, I gotta shout y'all out. Enox, Lady Moon, Straight Smoke, everybody watching. Smash the like button, y'all, please. We got 583 people in here up in this piece. And you know what? Y'all know y'all supposed to hit the like button, not the like button on Twitter. I mean, yeah, you can hit the like button on Twitter too, but you got to hit the like button on YouTube too, because that's what's going to help me. I got slides to show today, and we're going to dialogue on, hopefully, some of y'all little scaredy cats ain't scared to come up here. But, oh, God, my head hurts. It don't hurt, but I feel like ookie ookie. You know? So, come on, y'all. Hit the likes. We got to get y'all to hit them likes now. Come on. Because that's going to help me. Please. Come on, y'all. That'll help me, y'all. Come on, let's get them going. I really appreciate it if y'all do. That would really help me out a lot. Like the Twitter folks, y'all. If y'all could hit the likes. Not you can hit it on Twitter too, but it counts more over here if you hit. That's what I'm told. So hopefully I appreciate it. Let me refresh because maybe I'm not looking right. Okay, it's starting to go up better. All right, but damn, it's why it's only 6. If y'all hit the like, whatever, hit the likes, please. All right. Well, anyway, let's get into it. So I got slides, and I'm just gonna go get straight right into it. And I I really wanna know, what check was Martin Luther King referring to when he said like this, "We coming to get our check." But he said "we." He didn't say just him. And I'm just wondering if it was was there agreement for individual checks to be cut? 'Cause I mean, if I just need to show up in DC to pick it up, I'm coming to get it because 'cause I'm broke as hell. So if that check is still there, I don't mind coming to get it. Oh, yep, and today is bonnet day. I'm on vacation. I'm not it's hair bonnet. I'm not changing my hair bonnet. I'm on vacation, and I'm not gonna change it. But about that check that Martin Luther King was talking about, was that supposed to be a check cut for, uh, a whole bunch of people? Because he said, "We coming to get our check." And he said, "We." I just wondered, did anybody go and get that check? Because I ain't go get mine, and I was born, but, he died when I was 2 years old, so I should have been included in that check. So, I I'm wondering if I just need to show up in DC because I went to DC like 3 times, and ain't nobody give me no check. And I'm just wondering, was I just supposed to ask for it? And I woulda got it. So, I wanna get in and shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody. So let me get these slides up. Y'all know how we got to do. Okay, so I gotta go here. This is so confusing when I do the share. Can y'all see it? Oh, good, you could. So it says, and I'm supposed to take it from the beginning. Oh, this is so confusing. Okay, I think I got it now. I can do it from this way. Again. So here we go, y'all. Smash the like. Please, please smash the like. I don't even know. Oh, forget it. So anyway, what check was Martin Luther King referring to when he said, "We coming to get our check"? So first, I want to read the little statement about that check. And there was today they keep using. You're going to see a prime example of the writers using modern terminology to explain terminology from back in the day. All right, terminology today is not the same that was used back in 1968 when especially when you're referring to our people. Now in 1968, we were, identified as Negroes, for real, for real. There was no African American word usage in the time Martin Luther King was walking around, and you're gonna see so I fixed it to terminology in 1968 so we could better understand this because I have an issue when you say African Americans because I'm not an African American and I didn't come from Africa, neither did my ancestors. My grandmother, my grandfather, none of us came to the Americas by way of a slave ship or snatched being slaves. That didn't happen in my family, and many of ours, as we all stand on the fact that that didn't happen to us because we were in the South and we owned our own lands and our own farmland, so this African American story does not apply to millions of us walking around in America. So let's read how the hijacked college people okay, try to change who this happened to. So the modern terminology speech says the speech that Martin Luther King was talking. The speech calls upon African Americans to cash the check that was written to all Americans by the country's founding fathers. All right, so all Americans. Dr. King asserts that the promises of the Declaration of Independence of, of Independence should guarantee blacks the same rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that whites already enjoy. So now that's today's language. Now I'm going to read it from the same thing using the appropriate language that was used. The speech calls upon Negroes to cash the check that was written to all Americans by the country's founding fathers. Dr. King asserts that the promises of the Declaration of Independence should guarantee Negroes the same right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that whites already enjoy. That's how it read. That's what he said, rather. So, what Martin Luther King meant when he referred to the two nations of Black America. So, this was an article written, and I'm going to read this to you. It says, this, y'all remember when Martin Luther King was referring to that there was two nations of Black America. So, here's what an article that was written by you know who. We'll wait till we get to the end. But I only took out a few pieces, but I have the resource. J. Edgar Hoover and his FBI apparently were not aware of or especially concerned about what Freud, Freud, Sigmund Freud called the narcissism of tiny differences within the Black movement. For Hoover, the Panthers were Black, they were radical, they were communist inspired, and they could be dealt with. Systematic repression has a curious way of hampering the evolution of a movement. And not only were the Black Panthers repressed, Dr. King was assassinated. In retrospect, the most dramatic act of violent repression in the wing of the movement that was beginning to embrace a class-based organization principle that sought to reorder American society. Dr. King was killed. People like Huey Newton were imprisoned, and people as unlike as Elijah Muhammad and Vernon Jordan, Jesse Jackson, and my new compatriots at Yale were being invited to integrate a newly expanded American upper middle class. Y'all listening? The vanguard of Black cultural nationalists, political consciousness, in other words, became the vanguard in the racist broad movement across the Great Divide that had for so long prevented genuine economic mobility up the great American ladder of class. Somehow, the late 60s, in the aftermath of the King assassination, what was held to be authentically Black began to change. Ghetto culture was valorized. The Borges lifestyle that the old guard leaders of the civil rights establishment embodied was held to be a price to pay for our freedom, or at least to admit to. We wanted to be real, to be down with the people, to be successful, yes, but to appear to be Black at the same time. And to be Black was to be committed to a revolution of values, of mores and manners, of economic relationships. We were a people. The best way to dramatize this kinship was to dress, walk, talk like a brother. Above all, being black meant that we were at one with the revolution, standing tall and firm in defense of the people and that revolutionary vanguard, the persecuted and harassed Black Panther Party for self-defense. We went on strike on April 15, 1970, 2 weeks before Nixon and Henry Kissinger invaded Cambodia. We struck because Bobby Seale, we felt deeply, was not being tried fairly just down the street, bound and gagged as he was at the worst moment of the trial. The strike rally was glorious. It seems as if 100,000 people crowded onto the New Haven Green on May Day of 1970. Kingman Brewster, Yale's dynamic president, offered them food and shelter in the residential colleges. Each stained glass window of the sacred cathedral of learning that we called Sterling stood intact. At week's end, D. Shalbert had never spoken more impressive, never been more daring or inspiring. Above all, being black meant that we were at one with the revolution, standing tall and firm in defense of the people, and that the revolutionary vanguard, the persecuted and harassed Black Panther Party for self-defense. Harry Lewis Gates wrote this on March 1st, 1998, y'all. So now I want to talk about some interesting. We're getting into the Emancipation Proclamation now. All right. So y'all give me a minute to take a little minor ladies break because I drunk a whole bunch of water. And just give me a minute, and I promise I'll be right back. Sit tight, y'all. Thank you, y'all, for being so patient. Oh, okay, so here we go. Now, um, so this is the delegates got together and appointed Benedict Arnold Esquire as Major General. Okay. And this was in um let's see, I got it bigger over here. And I'm gonna read this document. Pay attention to this, y'all. Because it was called the United States. It says, matter of fact, I don't think y'all can see that as good as I can. Hang on one second. Let me do this. There you go. Let's do that. It distinctly says in Congress, the delegates of the United States, all right? It says United States, don't say America. The delegates, it says in Congress, the delegates of the United States, and here's the United States: New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North and South Carolina, and Georgia. To Benedict Arnold Esquire. It says reposing special trust and confidence in your patriotism, valor, conduct, and fidelity, due by the presence constitute and appoint you to be Major General in the Army of the United States, ratified for defense of American liberty and for repelling every hostile invasion thereof. You are therefore carefully and diligently to discharge the duty of general by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And we do strictly charge and require all officers and soldiers under your command to be obedient to your order as Major General. And you are to observe and follow such orders and directions from time to time as you shall receive from this a future Congress of the United States or committee of Congress for that purpose appointed or commander in chief for the time being of the Army of the United States or any other your superior officer according to the rules and discipline of war in pursuance of the trust reposed in you. This commission to continue in force until revoked by this or a future Congress. Dated Philadelphia, May 27, 1777, by order of the Congress. Attested and signed by President John Hancock. Yo, by John Hancock. Yo, this is in 1777. Now, let me take this down. Now, you see that says United States and who the United States were. I just named the United States. It didn't even say of America. Now, let me get back to my share screen. Here we go. Now, in Congress, this particular document, I'm not reading this little writing, forget it. But I pay attention to what it says. This in Congress, July 4th, 1776. It was the Declaration of Independence, formerly titled, all right? It was formerly titled the Unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America. It was called the Unanimous Direct Declaration of the 13 United States of America. Okay. And it's um is the founding document of the United States. So it was only 13 okay. On July 4th, 1776, it was adopted unanimously by 56 delegates to the Second Continental Congress, who had convened at the Pennsylvania State House, later renamed Independence Hall in Philadelphia. The Declaration explains to the world why the 13 colonies regarded themselves as independent, sovereign states no longer subject to British rule. The 56 delegate who signed the Declaration of Independence came to be known as the nation's founding fathers. So those were the 13 states. How about that? This is stuff, man. I'm gonna keep going. So now we're gonna get it. Check this out. Now listen. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation, the proclamation was a constitutional exercise of Lincoln's power. It was a constitutional exercise of his powers. The proclamation, coupled with the friction of war, developments in the border states, and the makeup of Congress and the Supreme Court, would have destroyed the institution of slavery without the aid of the 13th Amendment. Now, check this out. It was at that time, all proclamations, executive orders are numbered. This Emancipation Proclamation didn't have no number assigned to it. All they're supposed to have numbers assigned to them. This was unnumbered. No number. And it was the publication was January 1st, 1863, but he actually signed it on September 22nd, 1862, 160 years ago. But ain't no number assigned to this emancipation. I'm I'm just gonna keep going. So now let I want y'all to pay attention. This is the definition of servitude from the Noah Webster 1828 dictionary. So it's fair to use this language because it's so close to 1776. It was the dictionary that was used back then. Servitude is a noun, Latin servitudo or servetus. The condition, listen, y'all. Servitude, the condition of a slave, the state of involuntary subjection to a master, slavery, bondage. Such is the state of slaves in America. A large portion of the human race is in servitude. Y'all listening? The state of a servant, the condition of a conquered country, a state of slavish dependence, a state of slavish dependence. Some persons may be in love with splendid servitude. Servants collectively. All right, let's keep going. Now, I'm going to read the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation was the necessary legislation that gave slaves their opportunity to free life in the United States. It was the culminating act of many arguments and papers by abolitionists. It was an enduring Proclamation by President Lincoln to free slaves. The oppression caused by servitude was lifted. Uh, the oppression caused by servitude was lifted. Who was in servitude? Let me just stop here for 1 minute. Who was in servitude? Well, because I brought in my political folks over in Twitter. So be respectful because I'm dealing with a lot. Who was in servitude? All my political friends who was in servitude at that time was not pretty much everybody was slaves, even when we worked on our own farms, because at that date of the proclamation, uh, us Negroes was living on our farms, and we were not slaves. We slaved on our own land for our parents. That's why they have child labor laws. For every law they have, it was because it was something exercised that the people felt should not be. And in the South, we weren't part of the 13 colonies. The southern states were the Confederate states. That wasn't part of the 13 colonies. Y'all got to think logically. So who was in servitude that need freedom? We wasn't part of it. I'm gonna keep going, y'all, because this is important. Smash that like button, y'all, please. Let's see. Let's get back to it because this is interesting. I find it to be interesting. There's gonna be things we need to look at. So the oppression caused by servitude was lifted. There were us white people and Negroes that were in servitude and in slavery. Yeah. What did the oppression do? What happened to the servitude? It was lifted. The oppression caused by servitude, it was lifted because there were literally people of other races in the South in servitude, and they wanted to be lifted from that. Whether you're doing servitude or not, you're a slave. It don't matter. All right, let's go. Pay attention. Oh, and by the way, this source who wrote this source is the first Lieutenant Chancellor, Laura Sente. He wrote it in Black History Month on February 10th, 2009. That's the source. So they know who the slaves were. It wasn't just us slaving for our parents. All right, let's go, y'all. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 18 as the nation approached its third year of bloody civil war. The proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are and henceforth shall be free. That was a proclamation. Yo, what if somebody goes and challenge that proclamation right now? Will we all go back and will we have to go back to our parents? and work on their farms. We ain't got no more farms. And what we built to our former, parents' descendants, like, wait a minute, will people come back to us as slaves? This is just a proclamation. This didn't go through Congress to be passed. It's a proclamation he made, and he exercised that power. Like a declaration, he exercised the power. It didn't go through Congress. Y'all so y'all better be good, 'cause y'all could go back into slavery. We still in it. Don't nobody know they ain't free. Servitude. You're working, that's servitude. You're getting paid. Alright, let's go. Oh, I already did this. Okay. Why am I going backwards? Okay. Despite this expansive wording, the Emancipation Proclamation was limited in many ways. It applied only to states that had seceded from the United States. Only the states that seceded from the United States it applied to, leaving slavery untouched in the loyal border states. It also expressly exempted parts of the Confederacy, the Southern secessionist states that had already come under Northern control. Most important, the freedom it promised depended on United States military victory. So the North had control of the Southern states, Southern secessionist states. So I believe this is why there's such a huge, not so great relationship with the North and the South. And what's also interesting, a few years later, just a few, look at this. These people jumped up and were in office. All these Negroes in these different locations. Louisiana, Mississippi, all in the same year. Texas, South Carolina, Connecticut already had black governors. Yo, so this is why we have to, we have to, you guys understand who was running things. This is why it gets so touchy. I'm gonna keep going. Although the Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery in the nation, it captured the hearts and imagination of millions of Americans and fundamentally transformed the character of the war. After January 1, 1863, now we got census sheets with living on our own farms, right? With head of household, our grandpa and our nana, and all 20 of their damn kids in one house. After January, this is why I said that we wasn't man, this didn't apply to us. We wasn't slaves, only to our families. The census sheets we have proves this. Now, were we mistreated? Yes. Let's get there. So after January 1, 1863, every advance of federal troops expanded the domain of freedom. Moreover, the proclamation announced the acceptance of black men into the Union Army and Navy, and enabling the liberated to become liberators. By the end of the war, almost 200,000 black and sailors had fought for the Union and freedom. Indians, Negroes, because we were literally called Negroes back. We were the darker Indians compared to the Indians that had more of their white features that, were remotely by blood. Let's go, y'all. From the first days of the Civil War, slaves had enacted to secure their own liberty. I'm going to read that again. From the first days of the Civil War, slaves had enacted to secure their own liberty. The Emancipation Proclamation confirmed their insistence that the war for the Union must become a war for freedom. It added moral force to the Union cause and strengthened the Union both militarily and politically. As a milestone along the road to slavery's final destruction, the Emancipation Proclamation has assumed a place in great documents of human freedom. The original of the Emancipation Proclamation of January 1, 1863 is in the National Archives in DC with the text covering 5 pages. The document was originally tied with narrow red and blue ribbons, which were attached to the signature page by a Warford impression of the seal of the United States. Most of the ribbon remains. Parts of the seal are still decipherable. Other parts have worn off. The document was bound with other proclamations in a large volume preserved for many years by the Department of State. When it was prepared for binding, it was reinforced with strips along the center folds and then mounted on a still larger sheet of heavy paper. The written in red ink on the upper right-hand corner of this large sheet is the number of the proclamation, 95. Now they gave it a number. Given to it by the Department of State, they gave it a number. Long after it was signed. With other records, the volume containing the Emancipation Proclamation was transferred in 1936 from the Department of State to the National Archives of the United States. Now, let's vibe for a minute. Hey, y'all, smash that like button. Because after this, we're going to get into the sellout politician. Matter of fact, okay, it's only two. So I'm going to open the panel early today. We'll get back to the sellout politician. But I want to hear your thoughts about what you're literally reading and understanding. who the United States was when it was signed. I want y'all to come up here because this is something else. It's a hot mess. Hang on. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Smash the like, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to come on up here. I'm gonna play a little song because this is just a hot, complete mess. Because I question whether anything is legal. Was it fraudulent? This is the appointing of Benedict Arnold, and this is the Congress, the Manual of Declaration of the United States. It's something else, all signed down there by the bottom. But I'm gonna give y'all a minute. The link is in the chat room, you guys. Come on up. Come on up, y'all. I'll wait. Come on, yeah, YouTubers, yeah, Twitter folk, come on up. Come on up. I'll give y'all little shy ones a minute. So, because I'm going to finish this out. This is almost done. I think I got one more little page to read and we're done. This was actually really quick. So, we have a lot of open time to read. I don't want to be on too long, but you know how we get. We be on, I be saying, oh, I'm going to stay on for one more hour. And then we end up being on for like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Um, so what exactly is a sellout politician? In political movements, a sellout is a person or group claiming to adhere to one ideology only to follow these claims up with actions contradicting them, such as a revolutionary group claiming to fight for a particular cause, but failing to continue this upon obtaining power. Back in the latter part of the 20th century, a lot of subcultures held onto a concept called selling out, a nebulously defined idea based on a negative view of comprising one's value or creative expression in the pursuit of money or sometimes power. I need to take this down so I can read. What do Barack Obama, Condoleezza Rice, Bill Cosby, Oprah, Michael Jackson, and Michael Jordan have in common? At some point, they've all been labeled a sellout, their race. Another person who knows what it's like to be called a sellout is Randall Kennedy. And he takes up the topic in his latest book, Sellout: The Politics of Racial Betrayal. And they give here's a definition given. A sellout is a person who betrays something to which she is said to owe allegiance. When used in a racial context among, I'll use modern day word, African Americans, sellout. So they're saying when used in a racial context among Negroes, sellout, sellout is a disparaging term that refers to blacks who knowingly or with gross negligence act against the interests of blacks as a whole. Same as neglect. So I, I have the source down there, and that came from NPR News. So that the end of my slides exactly for 1 hour. So again, I would like anyone to come up on the panel. The link is in the chat. I don't know why. Let me open up the what do you call it? I don't know why for the life of me. Oh, I can pin it to the top. Thank you, loves. Wow, nobody y'all hit the like. Oh, okay, so they did hit the like. Thank y'all. That's much better. 521. So I won't cry that 700's not up there. For the most part, thanks y'all. But don't be shy, y'all. Come on up. I'm the same person every day. I'm not changing. You know, I'm the same person. So come on over here. Hit the link, y'all. Nobody Asks Questions, Lady Moon, Richard Neal, Early 72, You Won't Hit the Link, Peanuts. I'm going to start calling y'all names. Y'all watching because you're not interacting in the chat. Luigi States, Richard Neal, Bay. Who else is in here? UN1, Lucky, yeah, Quoa, Psychopath. It's a link. Detect, uh, detect. I'll just say that. Oh, let me see. Psychopathist. D. Allen Warren. Hey, why y'all not hitting the link? All y'all up in here. David, Straight Smoke. Your butt better hit that link. Carlos. Y'all Twitter folks. All of my coins. Ghetto culture was dumped on us by the small hats. Lifestyle movies, music, etc. Okay, I can certainly say that's true. But what about that check? What about that check that was supposed to be written out to all Americans? Where is it? Yes, they were the 13 colonies were the United States. And supposedly after the Civil War or just before the Civil War, because the Confederate states in the South seceded from after joining the Union, after the whole ratification process. A lot of them went back and said no because they wanted to keep things the same. And the North took control of them. And that's when the war came. But my thing is that proclamation. And then they went and made a whole nother constitution. Ali Buma, where's your butt at? They went and made a whole nother constitution, which is now the United States of America, based on joining um uh, based on joining um the union. And then they changed their mind. Just remember, I showed y'all this. After they did this, let me show you this. I want to show you this. Where's my states at? Okay. Check this out. Now, the states, the Civil War, all that was, the Civil War was in like the 1781. Wait, what was it? 18. Yeah. Wait, let me get it. I can't give false information. It drives me insane when I do. Let me do it. I'm already sharing. Oh, duh. So let's see. I just want to make sure I'm using the right years. I get Nope, not that. Wait a minute. We got to get these years right. All right. So uh, you have the War of 1812, and then you have the Civil War. That was in 1861 to 1865. So I was right. Took it down. So now y'all remember in say 1787 they redid it when they had all the states join the union. It was in addition to the 13 little state, little plantations. And now the South coming in 1790 later, 1790, yep, 1788, 1790, and the 1800s is when the southern states came in. But then after doing this, they succeeded. After doing this whole ratification and admission process of joining the union and becoming a state, they seceded from the union. And that's when, you know, the North was like, no, you can't do that. It's against, you can't succeed. And Southern states was like, yes, we can. So they got into this civil war and the North won. And, you know, folks from the South joined the union to make sure that no more slavery is going down Southern states. Forget it. People wanted to be free. White people and Negroes. A lot of us wanted to be free from our parents. We wanted to leave. And a lot of us, that's when you get the beginnings of the Southern migrating, immigrating, however you want it, to the North. Right? My parents were forced out of their homes in 1929. They were forced out. They had to get out. Oh, I didn't even see you back there. I'm coming. I'm so sorry. All right, let me get your music off, sis. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Peace, love, and light, my sister. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I can.
First of all, you are doing a phenomenal job. This
Oh,
is,
you know what? Do you have your because you're there's a delay.
I'm,
All right, that's better. There was an
okay. I'm like,
echo.
oh, I had
Okay.
cut off my background.
It's better now. I didn't I accidentally hit something else. How are you?
I am blessed, my love. Uh, I have to tell you, I only found you, I'm going to say maybe a month ago, and I've been playing catch up with all of your videos. And, they have some time in it. And I was like, it's so rare that I can catch you live and in from the beginning. Yesterday I caught you live from the beginning and then I had to run out. So then this morning I was catching up with what you did. And then I look back, I'm like, oh, she done got 45 minutes into a new one. You is a beast out here, sissy. You is a beast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I really wanted, and you kept asking people to come. I'm like, oh, let me finish this up right quick so I can come and say hey to Sissy. But you're doing a phenomenal job, and I think that some of the topics that you're choosing are beyond the best topics or choices because trying to get our people to, I don't want to say understand because I think they understand, but they can't see where the problem actually is. In other words, they say, well, we know we're owed something and we know this and we know that, but you know, because I've been on a freedom journey now for about 2 years, and so I understand, I overstand everything that you're talking about as far as trying to get free. But as I
Yes.
tell everybody, if you can't free this right here,
Facts.
ain't no need to try to free nothing else. And
That's a
trying to get
fact.
people to understand that you are enslaved and you're enslaved in your mind.
Correct.
And
Correct.
once you get out of that enslavement in your mind, the world is open to you. And understanding that the history that is taught in other countries, they be talking about us.
Yeah,
And
they
that's why
do.
America is going around to these other countries trying to colonize them per se. They don't want that because they already know what was done to us. The only problem is we don't seem to know what was done to us and why people think we just so stupid and how you come and have these all these uh, immigrants coming over and making themselves a new form of immigrant instead of just going from one place to the next traveling. You want to stop here and stay here. And they're like, hey, them ninjas is dumb. Them ninjas don't know nothing. They don't even know that they are already at home, you know. A-
Yep.
and that's why people wonder why they come over here and they get everything because they follow suit. They understood the assignment when they was coming over here. Hey, you got to treat them ninjas like they trash because otherwise they gonna know. And I really truly wish if I could have anything, I'd be like, hey, stop voting because you're voting for something that if you want to vote for something, we need to be in control of it because it's always been more of us than it has been of anyone else. So when they be wondering how people get elected, it's because we're voting. Voting for a government that cares nothing about us, that wants to do nothing but keep their knees on our necks and keep us enslaved. But I guarantee you, 2024 come around, they stop voting. All the Nijis in this world stop voting. There won't be no president. There won't be no senators. There won't be nothing because they don't represent us. And when you're talking about sellouts, you need to sell out all the rest of them congressmen and congresswomen, representatives, because the classification of citizens in this world in this country, you're it's like three separate classifications. And when you're classified as a congressperson, be it in the House of Representatives or Senate, that's why they can keep getting raises and whatnot because they only have to vote for themselves. So when they're voting for. There's no one to contest what they're doing because they are a separate entity to this government, just like the presidency, the Supreme Court. All these are separate entities, and we're on the last entity, which is just U.S. citizens. And I tell people, don't call me U.S. anything.
Hey, sis. So I want to shake it another way. And I'm so honored that you came up with me because this is something we need to vibe about because I see it slightly different.
Hmm.
And I want to hear, I want to vibe with you and I want you to explain, tell me what you feel about it after I explain it to you. Is that okay?
I'm all ears, my love. Go right ahead.
Okay, so if you give me 2 seconds, see, I done drunk 3 bottles of water because I'm on a water trip and I gotta go again. I love water. I like to clean myself out. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna play a little song for you
I'll
and
be
I'll
right
be
here.
back. And if
All
you
right.
want to talk to the audience, you can talk to them.
All I can say is peace, love, and light, my brothers and my sisters.
Thank you again, sister, and everybody.
I'm
So
here.
appreciate it. Oh, okay. So let me okay. So sister, I'm gonna I'm gonna take it, swing it from another way. And again, I appreciate you for coming up, vibing with me. Or maybe you set the record for the rest of the Twitter folks to come on up, and it's okay, because I'm not gonna let anybody on here attack anybody. It's gonna be respectful from this point.
That's
But
right.
what I want to say, sis, now you know as well as I know, we have these conversations. Let me get the information up here. For instance, we she better not be cocking no gun. No, but sis, that was just a joke. Um, now you know we was in Louisiana, delegates. All right,
Hmm.
South Carolina, Texas. Oh, that was Mississippi. I'm sorry, Texas, and heavy in South Carolina. We were the majority in a lot of these when we were in
Offices.
office, and you know here, in 1872, very much early after the Revolutionary War, we we listed as colored. So they, you know, we don't identify as African. Not that we hate Africans, but we know this is our land and this is whatever. We're colored, and we, copper colored races found here by the Europeans. We were in office then in 1872. This is the General Assembly. Now, somewhere along the line, we got all pushed up out of there. I believe it could have been Andrew Jackson's posse, but since that time, sis, 1872, we as a people have not filled out any papers to run for office. So we're really knocking a system that we once
Developed.
held.
Developed.
Correct. And
Well, that's
for,
why
for
I agree. We need a government. What I'm saying is, the government that we have now, as long as we're voting and doing things the way this government has it laid out, we will continue to be in the same position. When I say we need to stop voting for all that stuff, literally, we need another government, period. On a government
well,
that's inclusive, but I just can't see following behind someone who does not have the best interest for all people. I'm not against other races because I know some beautiful people of different races and nationalities.
mhm,
However, I still have a more kindred spirit with my own people.
mhm.
And we as a people, the things that they have done to separate us is still separating us today. Um, I'm not what's the word? I'm not against people having their own whatever they want to call themselves, them, they, who, hair, who, ha, her. I don't care nothing about that because at the end of the day, the Creator created mankind, womankind, and so if we can't treat our own properly, they're not going to do it as well.
Mhm.
So when I say no, I just think this whole government just needs to be broken down and started afresh. Everybody lose their job and we start over and let it be literally the majority rule because the majority will rule and it will have to take an impact. But we are too much like crabs in a barrel. one person gets something, then you got to pull them down because you want them to get it. Or you so in awe of all these people, just like that breakdown you did about Barack. That was beautiful. I have shared that bad boy with everybody because everyone loves themselves some Barack. I said, okay, Barry, but I don't see a way for us to come up as long as we are still bowing down to this governmental system that we have in place now because it was designed and altered to keep us underfoot. And that is why I'm not in favor of anything that has to do with any type of voting for any type of national. I do believe somewhat in voting for local elections because they directly impact us individually, but anything that has to do with outside of my city, outside of my state, I'd be like, mm-mm, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay, so let me ask you this, sister, and I like to turn my camera on. What would happen if all the brown people across America did not vote?
They would not have anyone in office
How so?
because if you leave it to just the minority people, it's not enough to get enough votes for them to sit in office. Every office has to have a certain amount of majority to stand in office. If they don't, then they say, "Oh, we got to do another one because they didn't have enough people or not enough margins." But we, like you said, we don't have enough people to go
If
out and
only two people voted for a senator or congressman and his favor, that person wins the vote. There's
without
no,
no background, they have no support whatsoever.
but if two people, I'm literally telling you, if two people walks in and vote for a senator and he only gets two votes and they're both in his favor, he gets that job.
Okay, well then if that's the case, don't you can go vote, just don't vote for them.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. And if we
Oh,
did that, if we didn't vote across the board, we're giving we giving them berries and juices because
but we're not
they don't care
voting.
whether they don't care whether we vote for them or not. It runs more in their favor.
Well, they need another system because this voting system does not work.
No, I think the problem is we have not put our names on the ballot in the droves like we did back in 1872. Do you realize that we have not been actively running for any offices since 1872? And that's I wasn't born in 1872, so I can't tell you exactly what happened. Now we know that there were wars going on. Um, a lot of our ancestors were getting burned out their homes and forced off property they had for thousands of years because of real estate laws imposed on their properties that they weren't accustomed to because we were not under a fiat system in particular paying
Hmm.
taxes. So my thought is this: you said not be active in it. That gives them another chance of a 4 years as a president and for 6 years as senators to be in their positions.
Well, they need
Uh,
to
uh,
have a limitation on how many times you can run for Senate. That's
and
one
the
thing.
only way that that happens is if you get a seat in Congress.
Yeah,
Again, we
we got people in Congress. The
it's
black
not
caucus
enough.
don't do nothing.
It's not enough of them in there that's on those committees to get the Constitution changed. It takes a two-third vote of Congress to change the Constitution,
They
and
don't.
that's not going.
They, even the ones who, because I have a classmate, he's a senator now, and when he was running for office, he and I had a nice little chat, and I said to him, I said, "What are you gonna do different than everybody else?" And he gave me a nice little song and dance. And when he finished talking, he said, "So do I have your vote?" I was like, "Hell no." I said, "And what did you say that benefited me?" my neighbors, my community. What did you say? He said, "Oh well, no, you got to." I said, "No, we don't have to think about everybody." I said, "You want my? I'm sorry, bro." I said, "I can't vote for you." And so he was like, "I cannot believe you not gonna vote for me." I was like, "I like you as a person, just like the mayor that we have in my city. He's copper colored. He is not what I would
What
consider.
state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Georgia.
Okay.
He is from New York, and he is all about community. I don't care for him personally, but I tell people when he was running for office, he had a meeting, and the outside of the meeting said for basically black reporters only, no non reporters outside of copper colored people. And the upsetness and uproar that some of these pale faced people was going on and on about, and I wasn't even voting. And I was like, hey, do y'all think that when we get together, all we want to do is talk about y'all? No. But when y'all get together, y'all have plenty of conversation about us. That in itself should tell you something right then and there. They only care about our downfall. But once they get in the office, they start doing the same thing that the other ones are doing. They forget all about what they said they're going to do. They do it all for show. All of them are sellouts, not just the big names that you
Okay.
named. All of them are.
Okay. So let me vibe for a minute while you listen for a minute. Okay. So, number one, I didn't say vote. I said run for office. There's a difference. You're running for the position now. So you don't have to vote to make sure somebody's going to do what you're expecting them to do. Number two, we can't keep saying, oh, we're not going to win. We have not registered as beings to to become senators and representatives. We have not run for office. We spent too much time and too many years voting instead of running for office. If you want to make change, what does mama say? You want something done right, do it yourself. So we need to get in office. We can't knock a system if we haven't tried it. The last people who tried it were our ancestors. But in those days, it was just horrific times. I'm willing to campaign and help our people get in those positions so that they could make law that benefits not only us but everybody, because all the laws that they pass affect everybody that works, that has a job, point blank, that owns a business. So we need more like-minded people in there to make like-minded decisions that's going to positively affect all of us in a positive way.
Then we
We
have to
should,
start with governorship.
correct. We need to run for those positions, not vote. That's what I said. We spend too much time voting for people who are not going to look back at us once they get in office. So by us getting our people to run for these positions and to get in these positions, we we still going to be the same. Now, let me take it to another section. Right now, I'm I we don't have a government of our own. Right now, I don't trust anybody. We're not equipped to run our government right now. Like, just pull away from where we currently are and start our own government. Number one, when you pull away from the United States, the very thing we needed from what was happening to us in the South, with KKK and people that look like us pushing us off our land and burning us out our homes. That was a protection we didn't have unless we became citizens. When we became citizens, then we got those protections. Now, number two, number three, we as a people, and you know our people, we are not ready or in a position to have our own government. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're so divided. Religion is the main factor that divides us all. Our people right now have government set up, but they have that religious cult like mindset of running the government. Like we have Brother Ali Muhammad. He started his own supposed government in California. I don't know. I don't know all the great details of it, but I'm not a Muslim and I'm not covering my eyes. I'm not covering my head. And I'm not into that. It's just not my life. I like him as a human being. I love him to death. Honestly, he is the sweetest, humblest brother I know in YouTube. One of many. So we we it's a lot of work getting ready to start your own government, removing all your people. It's like like here's how we are right now. Get your laugh on. All right, we pull away from the United States government. And now let's start our own government. We don't have no army, no navy, no marine, no weapons to protect ourselves. Our ancestors got together with those 13 colonizers and said, you know what? That's it. Let's do this shit. Let's put it together. Our ancestors, the Indians, you know them as Negroes and coloreds. They got together. The only way these southern states, all of that's Indian land out there, because the colonizers only had little plantations. I showed you what states and little lands right here. Hang on, sister. I know I'm vibing a minute, but I really want everybody to hear this. When they swore this dude in, Benedict Arnold, the delegates, they had plantation in New Hampshire, plantation in Massachusetts Bay, plantation in Rhode Island, plantation in Connecticut. They didn't own the whole state. New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North and South Carolina, and Georgia. They didn't own whole states. They just owned portions of it. Now, the only way that all you got all the other 50 states outside of those 13 colonies, pieces of land was all Indian land. So, in order for the United States to come together as 50 states, it took the Indians to agree to join the Union, to put a better civilization on this land. And that was our Indian chiefs because we had all the land. So they went in on this gig. Now, do I feel that our ancestors, the Indian chiefs that made these deals, coming in with these ratifications, understood how it was going to go down? I don't think so. I don't think that they knew that the 13 colonies was going to have power over the rest of the states. I don't think they knew that. But then when they did find out, that's when they said, oh, hell no. Rescission. I'm not doing this. You're not going to be overpower over me. That's when you got that civil war. That's what happened. So I say this because if we start our own state, it's going to be another civil war. It is. And we don't have the weapons. I say that because we knock stuff before we try it. I say let's run and get back in those same seats that we abandoned back in 1872, where we will have a voice, a positive voice. We need to motivate more of our people to step in those positions in power where they're able to get legislation on the table and voted on and not gerrymandering every damn thing. You know what I mean? So for my life, I'm 50, late 50s. I've invested in this system. I have a pension and I have my Social Security. I'm a government employee 39 years now. I'm not going to remove myself from the system and then do away with my benefits, I need something to take care of me for the rest of my life when I retire. So I'm already invested in the system and just not in a position to move out of the system.
Let
I'm
me
not,
ask you a question. I'm sorry. Let
I'm,
me ask you a question.
in other words, I'm not set to take care of my life when I retire from the state unless I take my benefits with me when I retire. But
That's
you
what I,
got it, sister.
what I
You got
that's
it,
what I was
sister.
going. That's what I wanted to ask you. I said, why do you think you cannot take your stuff with you?
Because once you leave, relinquish your citizenship, you don't have a social security card. You don't have none of that. You are not known. The only thing I would be able to do is do business with the United States via contract, being a 1099 person. I would not be entitled to my anything because I don't no longer have a social security number. I'm not known.
Well, in actuality, you that's not altogether correct. I said, but I see what you're saying. But once you're in control, you control those assets. Just like they used to say, control everything, own nothing. The it's part of being in this corporation. You don't have to stay in the corporation. I mean, as of right now, I'm no longer in the jurisdiction of the U.S., but I still get everything I want. I don't get harassed by the police. Um, my property is a lot of land. I don't have those problems. The only thing I have just a few things left to do, but it's nothing stopping me. I
So
mean,
you get your social security money every month.
well, I don't qualify for the age bracket of the Social Security. However, right now, because I'm a widow and my husband has passed, um, his Social Security, I'm entitled to it. So once I collect it, I get all of his and mine. As far as, because when you are in the Social Security Department, the the post office and the Department of Treasury, all of those are owned by sole proprietor. They're not government entities. The Social Security Administration is not a government entity. It is literally a separate thing that's done by sole proprietorship. There's one family that benefits from that, just like in the post office. The post office is a sole proprietary business.
Right.
It's not part of the government. That's why the government does not try to bail the post office out. So security started out as some type of, what I think. Well, I could be wrong, but the way they tried to work it is trying to, what's the word? Compensate for the loss of the Freedmen's Bank and including everybody in it. But literally, once those processes are taking place and you get to the point where you draw on Social Security, you are the you are the executor of that estate. And if you say, "Oh, well, I'm you need to issue out $10,000 a month for this one," you are entitled to do that because it is yours. The the U.S. is just a fiduciary agent on your behalf because it's a corporation.
I realized that. And I've went through several videos on my channel explaining that you're not getting your social security if you remove and relinquish your citizenship from the United States. That's a
I
fact.
I have a sister in who literally is doing just that right now. Only thing she's not been able to do is increase it to $10,000 a month, but she got it to, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to say it wrong on her, but I think it's like five. But she's still fighting to get it up. But they say that the basis of it is, what do you call it? Cost of living. Cost of living. She had to show that her cost of living is higher than most. And well, she lives in a big old giant, numerous house, and like her husband passed, so they holding up that from her now. But she's increased her own Social Security from a $1,200 check a month to 5,000 something plus because of it. Now she still is fighting to get the rest, but they can't hold what's yours. And
If
if you're an executive, just
if
like in
you
the U.S.,
if they don't have a social security number that they're issuing that money on, you're not getting it. And
Oh,
that's a
she
fact.
she's
I
using her social security number for that. She uses her sole proprietor number for anything else that she does, but she only uses her social security number for that one thing, and she had to go through some hoops. I don't know what kind of hoops because I ain't got that far yet because I'm not old
says
enough to get it.
whether you want to believe it or not, hun, if she's using that social security, she is indeed a subject of the United States government. That is the only way you are getting a social. And I'm telling you from a government employee perspective, I've already questioned this with them. She is a United States citizen. If she wasn't, she would not be getting her checks. She probably will get the money and put it in the trust once you get it. But the only way you're getting that money is if you are a United States citizen, a subject. That's money that you worked all your life in the system for, and it's held until you reach retirement age.
Yeah, that's what
I,
she
I
said. Yeah, she can't
right.
get the whole thing, but she's only 62. They say for her to get more than what she's getting now, she has to be 65 right now. So she's 63 now because that started last year. But once she turns 65, they say she can get whatever amount that she desires or she thinks her cost of living for. But I
That
haven't got that far.
that's true, and I'm gonna tell you in the manner in which it's true. Like me, I have what you call grandfather. I can leave state government at age 60, right? If I want, and collect my husband's pension because he's passed. And then when I turn 65, I could transfer it to my collecting mine because you can't collect both. You have to collect the higher. I could start off with his and say, nope, I'm not going to mess with mine right now because once you start, that amount is what you're obligated to get. If I wait to my retirement age, 65, I can get my full retirement.
Yeah,
And
but you
that's
should
how
be
I'm
able
going to.
to name how much money you come out because you should have access to those funds because it's not a
No,
government entity.
that's not the way it goes. I've already been through this, ma'am. I am telling you, I'm not a feeble-minded woman. When if I want to leave state service at age 60, I can go and collect my husband's pension. But due to my husband's lifestyle, he didn't make as much as money as I did. But it's an income that I could literally probably pay my rent with. But then I got to eat and do everything else. So I could literally collect his social security and get a part-time job to survive for the other thing. But who wants to do that?
Hmm.
I much rather stay and retire at age 63 and get all my damn money because it's triple. And I was really strongly considering retiring at 60 because I can get a part-time job from working from home. I can anywhere in the world for what I do. And just use that. That's rent money. And all I have is just basic stuff to pay and to live. I can do that. It's choices. But I said, you know what? I know my job. I can really work hard from home and get more work done if I stay until I'm 63. I don't have to worry about getting no part-time job. And then I can leave at 63 and be happy. Because not only do I get my pension, I also get my social security. That's two different things.
Yeah, but when you pass on, you
And
leaving
I
all
don't
that money behind. Well, it's not even
it,
real money, but I'm just saying you
it's
leaving all those
it
credits behind.
well, my pension goes to my beneficiaries, my children. But the object is what I'm saying is if I retired at 60, I wouldn't have to work part time because not only will I get his social security, I also get my pension. So I can take my pension and go travel. But I don't want to do that yet. What
Yeah,
I
but
want to do,
what I'm saying is, um, if you take what they're offering you and it's let's just say use the number $2,500 a month. $2,400 a month is not no money to live off of. If you have done work 65 years, well, okay, 50 years of
That's
your,
in some people's instances. That's not my life. That wouldn't be my life, is what I'm telling you.
yeah, but what I'm saying is once you pass on your social security money, just like all these people, that's how the government keeps going because these people who passed and their social security, they keep all that money because there's no way for them to, the family doesn't know how to get it because the person
Well,
has passed on. So the government keeps all of that. And they still
well,
trade in securities of these people who passed on. Because, like,
okay.
when you can check and see how much they're trading in securities on people who passed, there was a website that you could actually look that up. But
I, I'm very aware of all of that, but if you read the law of the Social Security, you die, you die. That's it. It goes nowhere.
because they still in control of it.
Correct. And in order to get something like that changed, you have to be in office in a political position, along with other people who have like minds like that to pass that law. Because I agree. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant. I think in that manner, I'm like, it's a damn shame that, my husband died back in 2018.
Mine
He
is
was part of my financial. I can't get that money until I turn 60. But somebody can come over the border and get full benefits because they're in a refugee crisis, life crisis. Excuse me, Mr. Governor. Do you not think I'm in a financial crisis now that I don't have my husband's additional income to help me get over the hump? Don't think that I don't think on those terms.
yeah,
But
because
what we need
$255 ain't squat.
But what we need, and I'm not the only one who suffered that. There's millions of people whose husbands have passed away, and the husband's worked all his life. The wife is probably 45 or 50. She can't collect this pension until she turns 60. Okay, they used to many years ago give widows pension, but they don't anymore unless you're a disability. Now, like this situation, like I'm talking about, excuse me, my husband died. He worked for 30 years. Uh, why do I have to wait till I'm 60 to get his portion of the help that I need to get by? Granted, no, we don't have children together. My daughter's grown, but we have a mortgage. You know, I want to eat. I have a car note that I need to pay. I can't get it until I turn 60. But somebody else can come over the border and very much benefit off of that because they're in a refugee crisis life. Excuse me, I'm an American. I'm in a refugee crisis life too. The money I am accustomed to getting, I'm no longer getting. And you're telling me that I have to wait until I'm 60 to get it. And then I can't collect mines at the same time. When I turned 63, I could switch it to mine, which is like 4 times more than what I was getting for just living off of his. So at 60, I can take his social security and have my pension, which is, a decent amount. But I don't want to do that because then I'm going to have to look for a part-time job. I'm not working at CVS no more. I love CVS. I worked there 15 years part-time. I do not literally want to work. I want to work for my tribe full time. So I'm going to wait until I turn 63 and collect all of my Social Security and have all of my full pension. Because now I get my full pension. My husband's dead. If he was alive, he would have got half of my pension. So now I get 100% of it. So I'm comfortable with that benefit. Did I really want to stop at age 60? No, because I'm too fly and I'm fine and I still think I can hang in there. But no, to make a long story short, I do feel that we should get senators and representatives in those congressman positions to change that theory because you're not thinking about the American on the landmass. I'm not the only one suffering this. There are people of all cultures and races and zip codes who can't get their spouses social security until they turn 60. No, the state needs to re-examine what it's doing to its people and come up with another formula and say, okay, this woman's husband's died. She's now put in a financial hardship. She should really be getting this money because we're giving foreigners who have not put into this system money and EBT cards to take care of their horrible financial situation. Well, guess what? Mine is horrible too. We need the right politicians to come in there and help everybody. To hell with skin color. We all deserve that. And I relinquish. You got it. I'm Smoke and Tifa. I love this conversation with you too, Tifa. And I know you got more you want to say, and I want to hear it too.
I want to
But
hear what Straight Smoke got to say.
okay,
Hey, how y'all doing? Peace and blessings, love and
I'm
light.
good.
Peace, love.
Well, I was really listening the whole time, and to start off correctly, what we have seen thus far right now is that we have to start locally. I would suggest that everybody remove themselves off of voter rolls so they can't get a total of who is representing what party. And what we have seen that a certain time frame that we won't name, that if we take back the governorship and the local mayors, we can divide the federal government from the state. That's what needs to start first. Dividing the federal government from the state.
Well,
Because once we do that and we put the right people within the local areas first, then we can transgress or dive into the federal part of it. But we have to take the states back individually, one by one.
I can agree with that. But we need a 13 first, because that's where the foundation is at.
Well, like I understand how a lot of people might want to dive off into where to start, um foundational structure of how everything created as far as what they have done. But again, I would stress, start locally, build it from the ground back up. Sister Bethy was all the way correct when she said we don't have people running for these positions anymore. Now we got people sitting back complaining about what's going on. If you would, by you being quiet and not running, you're giving your consent. That's all you're doing. You have to fill these seats with the right people, but it has to start locally. And if you ask me, the greatest thing that you can do, like I said, in actuality, remove yourselves from off any voter rolls, voter logs to say which preferred party is your choice. Remove that. And then from that point, I suggest that we should be doing mass write-in ballots. Write in them. Don't use their machine or any other ways that they use. Write in. Who was that almost won? Who was that? Dick Gregory almost won at one point off of write-in.
Yeah.
I believe so. I think it was Dick Gregory.
I
He
like
told that
that.
story many a times.
I
But I
like that,
digress, Sister
right?
Becky.
I like that option if we still have that option to write in, less, we're deceived. Okay. But at the same time, we're running for these local offices. We need to be running for Congress positions too, all in one shenet. And I really, I have to say that we can make it. The only way law changes is if we get in there and change them. Nobody's going to do it for us because not everyone is out for everyone's best interest. Laws are that other people from other cultures and races have requested that their senators put bills on the table for them, and they've been sold out and have not done so. So we're not the only ones suffering with, you know, being looked down upon. There's a lot of people from other cultures calling other senators sellouts And that's a fact. We have to stop thinking is that the laws that are being placed are just imposed on us. And that's because that's not a fact. Now, does the criminal justice system, is there any justice in it for us? No. And it hasn't been for a very long time. But we need to go in and get our people out of the horrible lifetime punishment that they're in. And when I say that, I'm talking about our little man, Ray Ray, Pookie, Shakrisha, and Quadisha that want to make a change in life, but don't have the opportunity because even though they did their um, state time and federal time, they're doomed for life for getting any positive thing or to really start a family. They're denied everything. And we need to go in and get in those positions where we have the power and authority to change the law that's been negative, that has negatively impacted our sons and daughters. Because remember, Pookie, Ray Ray, Little Man, Shakrisha, and Drakisha, we look in their eyes as mothers and fathers, and we tell them, we love you. We just want you to do right. But how can they do right when everything is against them? They got three strikes against them when they come out of prison. And it's painful for me to look at my daughters, my sons, not saying my children are impacted by this, but every Pookie, Ray Ray, little man like Grisha are my children from my community. And it hurts me to look them in the eye to say, baby, just keep it up. Things gonna get better. I'm not selling them a dream. We need to get in there and fix these things for our babies. And it's not just our babies that are impacted with this. Again, there are white people whose shit is all messed up. Yeah, do they get chances and have friends in higher positions to make their things disappear? Yes, they do. They have that over us. But what I'm saying is, we don't have it right now to start our government. We don't have an army, navy, and weapons of mass destructions to protect ourselves as a country forming. Now, what we do have is our bodies that we can put on them ballots and run for those positions. And I like to do things civilly. And I'm saying, don't knock something you haven't tried. We have not tried to get in those roles since 1872 in the multitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Let us get rejected first and then go to plan B. But I'm not manifesting rejection. I'm manifesting new um, government that look like us. And then we wonder why it's so easy for people from other countries to come right in our communities and open up businesses. Why is that? Because number one, we lack some community support as a people. We don't support each other. We got to remove the hate for each other when we open something in our community and support each other. We're not doing that. And because we're not doing that in our communities, it the government locally has no choice but to let foreigners come in and open businesses up so that they could pay the taxes for the town because the taxes is what
Mm-hmm.
keeps the system going around in the
Yep.
community. And we're not opening businesses to be a part of that. So I'm for one not to knock something until I've tried it and seen rejection. Now, I've seen other types of rejections and suffered other kinds of prejudices in my life, but not to the point where it's ever going to make me fall down on my knees. That's not going to happen. The only time I'm going to fall down on my knees is to pray to my ancestors and higher power to keep me strong, to withstand what's happening to me. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get right back up because that strength is going to come in me and I'm going to keep on keeping on. So I see society and handling it in a very different manner. Now, well, our Pookie and Ray Race and them, they have their malicious minds because of what they went through. But I don't promote that for them. I really much rather see them have shit wiped off of them so that they can have that chance in life to trying to get. Otherwise, we can't keep them off the blocks because they have to survive. And that's the only way they know how until shit can get better for them. And want to make it better for them, we need to get our butts on them ballots and get our wise men to run for these positions and support them and not hate them. I relinquish.
Tikva.
I'm here.
Okay. I was gonna say if you wanted to speak, I'll follow you.
No, I mean I can agree with that to a certain extent, because I do believe that we should be able to impact our community if we had more people in office. One of the biggest problems or issues that I have with stuff like that is because our young people, all they want to do is be rappers, dancers, shake a butt, you know, want to be famous for everybody to know their name. I don't need nobody to know my name. I don't need nobody to know my name. I said, but they just think that that's the only way they can get the bag. That's the only way they can make any money is to be famous, to be somebody's artist. I said, but once you step on that dark side, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into, and they don't like to listen. They don't like to listen. And that is something that I deal with personally because I got one of them ninjas, and I'm like, you too old. You're not going to do it. You need to find something else to do. But they believe that they can do it because everyone's doing it. Everyone's got to be seen. I don't need to be seen.
Oh, I get it. Let me answer this question. I hear you, sister. Um, I can turn my camera on because I like to be honest with people. All of my coins says, why do we call our low income people such degrading names as Pookie and Ray Ray? I'm asking because I don't get it. Okay. The reason why I say Pookie Ray Ray, and it's more than Pookie Ray Ray. You got Pookie, Ray Ray, and Lil Man. That's three different types of hood brothers that hang out in the hood hustling. You got Pookie, who has the extreme temper and will defend himself at all costs. You got Ray Ray, who supports Pookie, but much rather reason before he assassinates somebody to protect himself. And you have Lil Man, who actually doesn't have a criminal background, but he doesn't have the job that pays him where he could really meet and make ends meet because number one, he's getting child support taken from his check. So he needs to make a hustle to get that extra money that was taken away from him by way of probably just selling weed on the side to make that end meet. And he doesn't see the child support from his check. Then you got Lucretia, Keisha, and Rakisha for each one holding those same positions. Like Keisha is in sync with Pookie. Keisha is a ride or die. She will go to jail for Pookie to keep him from getting a 40-year bid. Ke- uh, Latisha is more like um,
Ray Ray.
Ray Ray. She is down, but if there's something that could be done before she, give in, she's gonna try to reason. But she's still down with Pookie. And then you got Latricia. Latricia work, but she'll hide, make sure that that weed is hidden and nobody ain't gonna find Little Man weed because
Mm-hmm.
don't nobody know she got it. She's a RN
Yep.
and she got a damn job, but ain't nobody gonna find that weed. So that's why I say it. So we give those names because we're not pointing it directly at anybody in our hoods. They're just made up names, hood names, so that
And
you
those hood
can
people can be of any color,
correct.
and they're
Which
not necessarily degrading names. All my coins, I
Right. They're
won't.
not degrading. They're actually nicknames.
Yeah, so I can't let her slide with that one. I said they're not degrading names
Yeah, they're not degrading names because we call our
because
sons Pookie and Boo Boo. My daughter's name is Mookie. That's her nickname.
my son's name is Puddin'. He don't like
See?
it, but
and I have to
So
I have to
we
say
we do that to avoid current drug dealers so that they don't think that we're directly he's in the hood. We just give the name so that other people and other senators and representatives that are trying to understand the life of Pookie Ray Ray Lou Man like Quisha Chica, it gives them an understanding. Okay, I understand.
And then also understanding about Bob, Brian, Carolyn, Karen, these entitled people who think that they have,
Yeah, and Joe the
uh,
plumber, Joe the plumber's looked down on.
yeah,
Joe the plumber is actually looked down on. That's the white guy that has the plumbing business that just wants to make his ends meet, but yet the government will come after him for $10,000, but won't come after um, Mr. Jingle Bells for money laundering 30 million. They want to come after Joe the plumber.
hmm
So we have those nicknames for the um, suburban communities. So it's really the same thing. It's just their community nicknames and ours, and it fits the picture.
So
just
to
like
put
the
a
state.
face, to put a face on little man, let's call. I'll say it like this: little man is the equivalent to me is Byron Donalds. That's little man. If anybody know anything about Byron Donalds, that's little man. If you want to use, and these are not derogatories. This is names that we over time just give our children. That's all. It's not a poor name or anything like that. That's what we do. Everybody has different nicknames for their kids.
Right. And we say that because, you know, we we use that terminology, and it's actually being used in the news and the media now, and it's quite comfortable because you're not naming anybody in particular, but you're distinguishing between the three different types of drug dealers. Now, another thing that I have to say, because a lot of our people have they see from a very tunnel vision. Those three categories of of our men in our community does not apply to all our men. This is strictly to the hood naga, as we say, the hood guy. Nothing to do with the business guy that go to church and tap the marine, or don't go to church and just work the honest, decent living life. All that, we're not even talking about you guys. We're talking about our sons, and there's so many of them, and daughters in our communities with these criminal backgrounds. And some of these criminal backgrounds occurred 20 and 30 years ago, and it's still hindering over their heads as far as getting jobs and things of
Look at the
such.
state of Florida. All those
Right.
people who got arrested, some just for registering to vote, didn't even vote.
Yeah.
But because they were registered to vote, and even when they inquired and said, "Oh, well, I'm a convicted felon," they do all kind of stuff to trick you. So the
And
key
you
is
can
all,
get your voting rights back once you're from prison. You just have to see what your state's process is. It's different in every state.
yeah, like in Georgia, once you finish your time, you or probation or whatever it is that you might be under, you get your voting rights back. But if you want to be able to carry a firearm, you have to submit paperwork in order to get those rights back. But some states
Right.
don't allow you to do that. I just know that Georgia does. But just like some states don't even let you expunge your record, which again I think is unfair because
Right.
if you done the time because you did the crime, you should come out with a clean slate.
Right. And
You're
see,
still
we
on
need.
probation. Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm sorry, sister. Go ahead. I didn't mean that.
Oh no, I was saying, but when you're on probation, you can't do nothing because it's just a trap. But at the same token, if you've done your time, then you should come out with a clean slate. And the only reason that they have done this is to keep us down. I said because the first offender thing, which goes in just about every state now, they try hard not to even let you get the first offender. And I'm like, dang, I said, y'all didn't give these brothers
Well,
and sisters a break on nothing.
that comes from politicians that are in office that are heavily into Christianity and religious affiliations.
Oh yeah.
They believe in punishment for life. And see, this is why I stress don't vote, run for office, vote for your damn self. You need to get in to fix the laws because not only are you fixing the laws for your loved ones and the people of your community, you fixing laws for everybody when it comes to the people in this corporation as subjects, citizens, whatever you want to call us. All it affects all of them. And we should not have laws where once you go to prison, we need to have laws and policies. See, it's a lot of the policies that's affecting our people because once a governor comes into office, he appoints a commissioner. They make the policies.
Hmm.
And those policies are what's harming you in the individual states. So we need to get governors in office to appoint better commissioners that make policies that are not punishing people for their life. They need to make a policy that when you do your time in prison, when the day you leave, give you back your voting rights before you even walk out the damn door. Because
Hmm.
they have it where you can register your cards and get back. Secondly, it should automatically be expunged from your record that you did time. It should not be held on you from if you leave that state and go to another state. It should be erased. You did your time. Who are you to take away the life? If you're passing laws saying you shouldn't murder, then who are you to take away the living life of somebody?
Hmm.
Who are you? That's the way I see it.
That's
Now
a good
I
analogy.
understand. Yeah, now I see, you know, um, that there are some instances where we have to watch people who are mentally sick in their mind. I get that. Like sex offenders. I get that. They need to be watched.
That's different.
That's very different. And now, what can we do for them? They need coaches everywhere that fucking where they go. So I get that. I don't want anybody's son or daughter harmed or anyone harmed in that manner. So that I can understand, but they still should be able to have jobs. Even if you say you cannot live in this community, I get it. All right, give him a job so he can go live in a tent in the woods some damn where
Something.
or a trailer where he's not a harm to nobody. Watch
A
him like a
whole,
hawk.
what you
Wouldn't that
call it?
go back to that
Let us
crime
think
bill?
about there's lots of things that we can do, but we can't sit here on YouTube and just hope for them. We got to get out in our communities because in our communities, whether they're a college professor, we have all kinds of professional people. We have a lot of people who know how to set religious belief aside and make a damn decision. We need to go to places like um, the Nation of Islam. We got a lot of intelligent brothers in the Nation of Islam that should be running for office. If anybody knows how to get a damn bill on the table, is a Muslim or someone from Nation of Islam because a lot of them have gone through that and they can get in office. We can push and support them to be in office to make these decisions that's hindering our families and many families across these states. We we got the easy job. Our sons listen to us. We're their moms, we're their sisters, we're their brothers. And they probably think about this, but don't have the motivation and inspiration and love. That's what we lack in our community. We need to go to our brothers in those religious affiliates and say, look, you're real smart, you're intelligent, you know what's needed in our community. I'm willing to support you to run for office. Females too. Don't leave out the sisters. Don't you dare. We need to go to them like, look, you're intelligent. You be on YouTube with the 411. I'm sorry, I need you in office. Get off YouTube. We need to go and give them to that in their heart. So I'm sorry, but I'm not pulling away because I don't have any security at this point. But I relinquish.
And just to go off of what you said, Sister Bethy, we've already had this government. It just was usurped from us. And then they made, and then they, to me, they demoralized any of us from wanting to ever do the same works that we created in the first place. You're absolutely right. We have to, you're right when you said that. I was just thinking locally, but yeah, if it was a fail swoop off every single level of government, you're right. That definitely needs to happen. I mean, that's the only way that, and that's no, I mean, relinquishing your citizenship is like is pretty much the worst thing that you can possibly do. Because once you do that, you was correct when you said that once you do that, you're not getting nothing from the federal government. I guarantee you that. I just don't see it. Everyone that I've known that tried to do that, they got clean cut
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
So
They
we
played
have to,
chess with them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they'll dance with you all day long. They will dance with you all day long, but they will not give you anything. They will throw up so much lawfare on you to the point where you don't have that amount of money to contest with what they're doing. They know exactly how they do things. With them, it's an overall budget. And if you can't provide the same amount of money once you hit that court, you cooked. That's why I totally agree with you. We need to, yeah, let's just hit the whole system across the head and take it right on back. People need to get out here and instead of voicing it, get into them ballots, get into those positions and change it from within. Change the
Right.
system from within.
And you know what? I don't know if you wanted to say something, Tikva,
Oh
before
no,
I go.
no, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Now, I'm also going to say this. Don't sleep white people. I won't just say white people, Europeans, period. They have these same damn issues as us. For real, for real.
Correct.
Husbands dying. And you should see white women in there saying, how the hell am I going to take care of my kids? And you're telling me I can't collect my money until I'm 60. His social security, they have the same fights we have and the same attitudes we have. My husband paid in this system. I need his money now. And you're going to let somebody come over the border and they're going to live off my husband's money. You don't think my financial hardships sucks right now and I don't need that help? Yes, they have our same issues. White people have sons with criminal records.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the same issues, and they have these same wants, and they want these same fights. But the problem is this: a lot of politicians that get in office, and right now it's predominantly white politicians that are in office, they get threatened if they put forth a particular bill.
Well, that's
So
why
now,
the
what is our part? Where do we come into play? Whether it's a white politician getting threatened, or a brown one that look like us, or Latino, whatever politician is in there, we need to protect them. Guess what? Pookie and Ray Ray know how to do.
Protection.
We can protect too. Oh, you got a problem with this politician? We need to protect our politicians, whether they're white, whether they're black, whether whoever the hell they are, from India, anywhere, whether they're Asian. There are politicians and they all want a decent life for our people. So whoever's threatening them, guess what? It's so many of us. We say, you know what? You mess with him, you're gonna have to mess with all of us. And we gonna find you. We know where you live. We know where your mansion is. We know who your homeboy is. We're coming. We're coming for you if you touch this politician. Yep, he's white. And guess what? Here we come. We're protecting him. Go near his family and watch what happened to you. This is how the people protect their politicians. Fuck the color of the politician. If he's on there and want to do things that's going to benefit him and his family and he's being threatened, we need to step up. I say, oh, yes, I'm professional, but I get my gangster moods. We got to protect all of the politicians that's being threatened. Because as the record stands, I'm hearing that a 1% is protecting them. Well, let's beat their 1% asses. Because we want justice in our country for too long. Too long. Many Americans have been suffering because they want to bring in cheap labor. No, money grip. We're going to come for you if you touch any of the 435 congressmen in D.C. How about that? You don't want to see Pookie and Ray Ray from all the 50 states. You don't want to see
Ooh.
Shakrisha and Leisha either. And we protected all the damn politicians, the white ones, the Indian ones, all of them that's want laws to help the whole goddamn country. We will be the border wall that Trump wanted up. How about that?
Mhm.
And the wall is Pookie, Ray Ray, and Shakrisha, and we coming loaded. Nobody ain't getting by. Oh, I'm not playing.
Okay, they
But what
definitely.
I don't want you to do, don't come and ask me to run for office. Because I've been with these suckers for a lot of years, but I will fight for somebody else to get in there. I'm running my tribe. But I stand behind anybody that does. And I say we hit the Nation of Islam. Um, we hit the Nation of Islam. They got educated brothers in the Nation of Islam, educated sisters in the Nation of Islam. They got educated sisters and brothers in the churches and everywhere. We got educated people that don't even bother with the church, like
Mhm.
me,
Like
but I
me.
ain't running.
Well,
But
I'm not.
I'm just saying, I'm for I'm for positive civilization.
I like that, but I
I
ain't
really
running.
Me too.
am.
I stand with you on that. I
Nothing
stand with
funnier
you.
than Pookie and Ray Ray grandmother coming down there saying, touch this senator and watch what we do. There'll be a whole bunch of Medeas up in there.
Oh God.
Well, we getting there to that point. I
Yeah.
mean, my grandbabies are too little. They're only 8 to run, but damn. In 10 more years, they could run for office, and I'm going to be Medea. Who going to bother him? My goodness. So, I mean, when these senators see that they got our protection, they ain't going to be scared. The white ones either, because they know how to get on the phone and text Medea. Medea, they bothering me. White people will be texting Medea saying, come down here, Medea.
Huh? Where they at?
Where they at? We coming.
Where they at?
They be like, oh, the 1% is bothering me, Medea. Really? Okay, let me get 50% of the Medeas and we'll be down there.
Good Lord.
No, but I'm serious.
Yes.
I I no matter how you say it, I believe in positive civilization. I don't like war. We don't have to have war. We just need to take our positions back. They know that we just don't run.
Yep.
But we need to talk to the Muslims. We need to talk to them because they're intelligent. They got intelligent Hebrew Israelites. They got intelligent Nation of Islam. They got intelligent people in the Moor place.
Hmm.
Um, all over.
And just to be very clear, just to be very clear, we're not singling out any kind of particular race or ethnic group or anything like that. Everybody
Fact.
has the same problem living
Right.
on this North America.
Landmass. Correct.
What has to happen is everybody get up off your asses and start going to these local town hall meetings, these general assembly meetings. Sit in, let your voice be heard in the physical. Go and participate because
I
anybody will
keep
tell you
telling
anything off
people.
the dang on news. Turn that shit off and go down there and see what them folks is talking.
I keep telling our people. They just don't get it. They don't understand that if Pookie, Ray Ray, and Little Man show up at a town hall meeting, shit is gonna change quick. They might not even come back to work the next day.
Say it again.
Even though all Pookie doing is just watching them and seeing what's going on, how decisions are made. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny. Be like, oh God, I'm out.
We need to have a
You,
collective day where everybody just goes to town hall meetings every month.
yeah, we need to look at all because there's so many towns in each state. Like Connecticut has 169, and they all have different dates where they have their town hall meetings. But we need to go in the droves and show up to these meetings
Hmm.
because then they're gonna know, we gotta fix shit.
Like here in the state that I'm in Kentucky, it's the second Tuesday of every month.
Mm.
The second Tuesday. This is just for town hall meetings for the mayor and whatnot.
I wonder if that's pretty generic. I'd have to look and see
Yeah, it's the second
at the
second
town.
Tuesday of every month here. That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying this is very easy to do. You just have to get up and go and show yourself. If
Yes.
you have any questions, there's your chance to ask them right then and there.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to have an agenda when you go. Just go to show
Right.
yourself.
Yes,
They'll
just
That's
be
it.
probably
in attendance. I'm
You
sorry.
can't knock something until you try it. Cause once Shakrisha and Keisha find out, they gonna ask questions. They be I'm like, you can't talk in here right now. You can only listen to I'm listening. You know they don't listen, but they
well,
need to go because these are things that are just not shared with our people and introduced to them.
well, it's also something that actually would make an impact, primarily because if you look back on how everyone was all at every town hall meeting or meeting when it was all the COVID and everyone had something to say, plenty of people came out. Plenty of people came out.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
And I'm saying to myself, because, I used to work at Family Dollar, and
Oh, I love Family Dollar. Oh,
I'd
dangerous.
be like, if you don't have no mask, darling, I said, you can't come in. I'm like, hey, that sign outside does not say Tifa. It says Family Dollar. If you don't like the way it go, call corporate, because I don't have no room for you. I said, I only work here. I said, if this sign was my name on the door, I'd have something to say, but I ain't got. So you saying I can't come in without no mask? No, darling, you can't. Well, do you have a mask for me? Sure do. Here you go. Well, why you ain't got on a mask? I said, I'm not worried.
Yeah, I get it. And you're right, Chantel. The Latinos are rising due to unity. That's a fact. But the Latinos have always demonstrated unity. That's why I love and respect them so much. And my brothers and sisters, just like the LGBT community, they rose because of unity, and that's a fact. And I'm not racist to who I'm going. If I know you intelligent, I don't give a damn if you're from the LGBT or the Latino community. I'm gonna like, look, you talk a whole lot. You need to be arguing in a debate with politicians. Could you please run for office? I'm serious. We have, how many educated lawyers are in the LGBT community?
Mm.
Men and women. They ain't no damn joke. And Latinos, period. Once you get a Latino to start arguing points, they get to your last damn bone.
Well,
They're
one thing
great
I wish that
argumenters.
we would stop doing as a community, as a people, is putting our children out the door at age 18. You got to go. You got to go. It seems like we're the only people that be trying to get our children out there unprepared.
What about us that left at 17 and said, I ain't ever coming back and didn't?
That's
Well, yeah,
left.
that's them too.
That's
That's them.
me. I
That's me.
left.
I left.
I was gone. I never went back home.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I did not. I was like, oh, I can't wait to leave. My mother was so strict, and oh,
Well, I graduated high school at 17, and I tell people all the time I was the most unprepared person when I went off to college. I had no, I tell people that I lived a sheltered life. I was nowhere near prepared for the real world.
I was sheltered too. I was always on punishment.
Oh, yeah, I lived on punishment.
I lived on punishment. As soon as I got what she wanted. But see, I was a school fanatic anyway. I gave her my diploma because I said, Mom, I'm graduating. I'm not getting pregnant. And I did not get pregnant. I went to business school and then I went to college. But I was gone. I wanted to be with my boyfriend. And I moved right in with my boyfriend and his mother. I was like, you ain't having no other girlfriend, not while I'm here. I was gone.
Well, it's good when you are in that mindset. But I look at some of these children, like when I was working at Family Dollar and Dollar
Yeah, they're
General,
not prepared. They're not prepared. It's
they
sad.
they crack me up because I used to think that things were only on TV and movies. Because before I only started working on these types of jobs after my husband died because we had a business and I sold the business when he got sick so I could stay home with him. And then after he died, I was like, oh, we done ran out of money. I said I need to find a job, and it was too hard to get back into what I was doing before. So I went to Family Dollar, and I was like, I'm great at customer service. I said I can follow anybody's rules, so I'm
Yep.
cool with it, girl. And bro, when I tell you, I saw things that I had only seen in movies.
Oh yeah.
You know how people used to talk about how they always talk about it in movies how um what do you call it Caucasians want to touch your hair. I was like, I ain't never experienced that until I stood there one day and this lady was in line and this Caucasian lady came up behind her and said, oh my goodness, that is so pretty. And I was like, why are you touching her hair? She told me, oh, you don't mind, do you? And the lady turned around. She said, actually, I do. She's like, oh, it's still, but it's so pretty. I said, stop touching that lady's hair.
Hmm.
I said, I
But
really,
you
go
know
ahead.
what? That is harmless because just like a lot of us have been sheltered, a lot of white people have too. They've heard all their lives horror stories about us as a people. And
Yep.
when they get around us, it's totally opposite from what mom, dad, and Uncle Bucky with the gun that sits on the porch waiting to shoot every black guy that walk by tell them. And they learn and they've been sheltered from us. And when they get around us, we're their best damn friends. They don't want to be with nobody else. And that's a fact. I'm from the hood. And white girls and guys from the suburbs I hung with because we talked about these stories in undergrad. And I just like their parents tell them mean things, ours did too.
Yep.
Their parents said mean things about being with a little black girl, black guy, man, or girl. But don't forget, Betty Jean sitting on the couch. Don't bring no goddamn white woman home to my house, nigga. Stop. We did the same thing.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
we got around them, we found out that we fell in love with them because they were the one that showed us the love we was actually looking for. So
Hmm.
this racist shit, I
Man
ain't with
made.
it. I'm not with it. I don't know if that's a result of me being with the Indians in the North, because that's where I've been all my life. But I don't I don't like to be racist with people. Now, have I ever had a white boyfriend? No, because I always had a man. I always had a nigga with me.
Well, there's
But
nothing
still,
wrong
that
with
doesn't mean that we don't have to be friendly and friends with them.
yeah,
You
Correct.
but there's
know,
nothing
I
wrong with that, sister, because that just means that you're not attracted to the Caucasians now, and there are some fine looking ones, but
wait a minute, hold up, speak for yourself.
what
Because I like British white men. They fine as hell
I just
and they
said they are
sexy.
handsome, but that just doesn't mean that that's your preference. There's nothing
How
wrong
you
with it.
know?
I said there's nothing wrong with it if it's your preference.
Oh no, I'm just saying though, if I if someone shows me love and it's the love that I always been looking for, I'm not looking at no damn color.
Yeah.
Just like our men do the same thing. It
Oh
shouldn't
yes,
be.
you do.
You know what? Our human men made that up. Men made that up.
What's that?
Men and women in churches about staying with your own kind. You only read
Yes.
that in the Bible. It's in the
That's a man
Bible.
made concept.
The best book in the world.
The worst
That's
book
where you
in the
get it
world.
from. And
All
one
that stuff
guy
is from
who's
the
not
Bible.
racist, one white guy I met, he gave like the best answer you could ever give. I said, you know what? You need a black woman. That's your problem. That's why you keep losing all your white women. And he was like, no, they just treat me like trash. And I said, well, maybe you need a black woman. He said, well, no, um, it's not that. I I think black women are beautiful. But what do they think about me? I'm like, well, how would you know if you ever talked to one? He said, you want to go out to coffee? I said, hell no. Well, that's because he was a friend. That's because he was a friend. And then I'm like, you probably need a black woman. And then he was like, well, it's not that. And he gave a very reasonable answer. He said, when I have kids, I want my kids to look like me. And I thought that that was a great response because when your kids are born, you want them to look like you. People are,
But they
if he's
still
walking
will
around,
look like.
but if he's walking around with a
Mm,
kid that comes out with more of his um biracial features, his Negro features, you're going to see it, and they're going to think that he's not my. The kid is not mine.
yep.
That's really what happens. I mean, like, look at Drake. I'll give you Drake for example. I think his mom is white,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and his dad is black.
Yes. Black.
He looks more like his mom.
Hmm. Well,
And
just
he.
same thing with Meghan Markle. She looks more like her father
Or
than she.
European side.
Hmm.
Yep.
So I mean, this whole shit of who you should fall in love with, I think people should stop worrying about people's hamburgers and hot dogs and worry about their own.
Hmm.
Stay out of people's beds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes.
Exactly. I don't care what you
But
do in your off time.
but I'm in a committed relationship, so no, I'm not looking for a British white guy. But
If
I
he was
I
single,
thought my daughter. I'm seriously. I thought my daughter was going to. I was shocked to who my daughter's baby daddy is. I literally thought my daughter was going to marry a Philippine. Seriously, because that was her baby when she was in high school. And when she came out with her dad, the baby daddy is my complexion, but he got Asian eyes. They're literally like this. So when their kids were born and we went to the Chinese restaurant, the Chinese man behind the counter said, why do your babies? He said, they twins. I said, yeah. He said, why do your babies have eyes like mine? He was trying to ask me, are my grandbabies daddy a Chinese man? I thought that was rather cute. But on some real shit, people need to stay out of people's beds, mind their own. Because a lot of times people just mad because they ain't get them.
Mm.
But
that's a
anyway,
that's a valid
I
point.
I'm I'm not into all that racial stuff, and I've always been a multicultural person. This is why I have such a huge YouTube relationship, and not YouTube. I mean Twitter, because I was always politics. So I stream over there. Now they're all over here, but they know I'm crazy like this anyway. So I'm changing my whole platform, and I'm going to keep having these conversations.
First of all,
But
you're not crazy.
I do. I like to be crazy though. It's just my personality though, to
It's
be
not
honest.
crazy. It's
And
not
this is
crazy.
what I want to do when I retire, believe it or not. This with my tribe. I want to keep educating our community. And, this year I'm going to make it a business to do some really great fundraisers for our tribe. But tomorrow will be another topic because I got to get out of here. It's almost 3 hours and I'm tired, you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm I'll
I
be
enjoy.
back. It's almost been 3 hours, girlfriend, but I'm on vacation. I'll be back live again tomorrow.
Okay.
But if you put your information in the back, um, in the private chat, we can exchange. And you can give me a call. Don't worry, you ain't gonna lose me. And here's my phone number. I got tribe members in Georgia that live in Georgia right now. Oh, let me put this in my phone now because then I won't lose it. But I tell you, you guys, it was really a pleasure engaging with you. It's always a pleasure with you, Straight Smoke,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
um everybody in the chat and YouTube. I really appreciate you guys coming out. And I know you guys took a lot of notes because that's what senators do. They'll listen to you and then they'll go and make something similar to what you're thinking your people are asking for. They try, they do try. Let me get this in here. I'm gonna put it
Please, please, everyone, go this upcoming year. Start going to town hall meetings. Start going to General Assembly meetings. Sit in and understand the process. That's how you will understand how things work. Salute to you, Sister Bethy, as always, for your teachings. It was
Oh,
so nice to
salute to
meet you
you,
as well, ma'am.
brother.
Peace, love, and light, my
I
brother.
look forward to having many more conversations with you. Um, Tivka, Tikva. Am
Yeah,
I saying it
TT.
right?
Yeah, TT will do.
I like Tikva. That's pretty. I thought I was the only one that had a very different name. My mother literally named me Be the One. That is my name, birth name.
Be the one.
That's my birth name, literally. 912. Okay. I'm not going to say your number aloud.
Okay, I'm calling you now, so you should be able to save it after I call. You
Oh,
got it?
dang. Yeah, I already typed it in. Hang on, honey.
Okay.
I got it, but
Okay.
oh, shoot. I put the number in the wrong place. Dang. Bear with me. I love having dialogues with women of my era and men, and this is has always have been me, especially political. So I'm really um overly excited because my people from Twitter are coming over here and I really appreciate it. So now I'm gonna text you. You already put it in your phone?
Yep, I just saved it,
Okay. Okay.
and I
So
put the email in there as
I
well.
I'll give you a call and maybe we could do another vibe talk show. Okay. But everybody, it was wonderful being with everybody today. Smash the like. You are the one. Oh, Juan, you're so sweet. Honor to everybody out there. I'm gonna get up off of here. I'm a little pooped. I mean, we do have a little bit more time. If anybody want to hop on the panel really quick, the link is pinned to the top and say something. I mean, I could give you a 15-minute vibe. If not, I'm gonna go ahead on and log out. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all so much for vibing with me.
It's always the vibes, my sister. Always the vibes.
Yes, and everybody around the world, all cultures. I don't care. You can feel free to step up to my panel because I like to hear other people's perspectives. Seriously.
You can't be narrow-minded.
The age of ignorance is over with.
Yes.
This is the Cosmon era, the era of knowledge, the era of finding out things. It's not by accident that everything is happening right now.
Hmm.
Everything is happening because the Creator has made it this way. And we have to stand up.
Yeah.
We have to stand up. We can't keep sitting down because, trust me, I literally, like the other day, you were saying somebody, and I was like, I'm coming. Let me just come on. And I just went and did something else, and I was just listening to you because I stream, and so I would just have it on. I said, "Dog, I catch it," and then I need to go say something to Sister Betty. I really
I'll
need to.
send you out a text like I do everybody else. Say, yo, I'm going live, so you at least know.
Oh yeah, well I got to. I get the notifications. I
Yeah.
just be doing stuff sometimes, and I have a channel, so I'm also putting stuff out on my channel, and I'm working from home, and I'm tending to my mother, and I'm doing a lot of
I
things.
get
So
it.
I just be like,
Yeah, same here. I work from home, but my sister's caring for my mom. So I'm actually on vacation and I'll be back to normally I come on at 3 o'clock, but I'm on vacation. So, and the other gentleman that's normally on, um, he's on riding in transit. So I usually go on after him, but or he'll go on after me. So I will be back here tomorrow and I'll give you a call with another topic. And I hope everybody really think about that darn
Raise the
declaration.
politician.
The declaration you seen where they had only the certain amount of states and then the name of the actual oh, it's a mess. Look at it again. You're gonna be like, wait a minute. This
Hmm.
says United States. It don't say United States of America. Yeah, look at it. It's crazy. And then John Hancock signed.
Look, I used to watch these movies. You all remember the TV show called Mr. Robot?
Mr. Oh.
It was only on for like 2 seasons, but the guy who played uh, the star in Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, I can't think of his name, but he's a quirky looking guy. But he did a TV show called Mr. Robot, and I was like,
Look
at
at it.
first, I thought it was really interesting, and then when he got to season two, and I was like, this sounds crazy. This couldn't really be happening. And then when you realize, or when you wake up to realize that you live in a country that is run by a corporation, and you see all these movies talking about corporations and how they do things, and I'm saying to myself, oh, well, not here in America because we have a democracy. Yeah, I woke up and realized, yeah, they talking about you.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta watch this. Maybe this is something me and Willie could watch tonight. It's a series. It looks weird.
It is weird. It is very weird, but that's why I said it was intriguing. But once you get to season two, the whole plot of it opens up. Yeah, that's him.
So it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, they had 2 seasons. They after he did the
I hate
second
when they
season.
do that 2 seasons.
Oh well,
I'm
he
gonna
I
check
think
it
they
out, but
probably.
don't tell me.
I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you. But it did shine some light on things from a perspective that you don't usually think about because you weren't taught to think like that. You were taught to be submissive to whoever's in charge instead of being a critical thinker. And it was quite interesting and surprising to say the least. But I figure everyone here in America is suffering from PTSD.
You're right. It don't matter. But again, I love y'all and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming out visiting me. And I hope to see y'all again.
Peace, love, and light, everyone.
Peace, love, and light. Salute.